We're in the Suffolk village of Lawshall, and this is the Church of All Saints. And this is another church with a clock. And a very grand gate, or set of gates, and a gravel path leading up to the entrance porch. Churchyard looks extremely large. Seems to stretch right down to the far trees there. Trees all running here. And it goes on this side to the far wall there. This is a beautiful setting. Lovely trees, a cross, two more crosses, bench, oh, and the wheelie bins. 3 graves here together, and a light, one of probably a number that the graveyard is. To say extensive is probably understatement. It's massive. This is one of the biggest churchyards I've seen. And here we've got the base of the tower with flint pattern, little crosses or stars, and then the tower which goes up and up with another clock face and ramparts at the top. The buttresses coming out, stepped all the way up. By the standards of country churches, this is a large tower. Extension on the side of this church. A lot of more recent gravestones here. We can see the graveyard, how far it goes back here, surrounded by a hedge. Get an impression of the size of it. 3 large windows there, and 4 smaller ones above. A side door, a door and a window at the back.
This is Thomas Stannard, who died in 1865, I think, and his wife Susan.
Another one of these beautiful Victorian style headstones that have matured and mellowed with age and now are virtually unreadable, but add to the ambience of the graveyard here. And here we have Robert Lars. Lars. He was 66 years old when he died.
1862.
Right. And this headstone is gradually being taken over by nature. It looks, it's a lovely sight, a beautiful picture. And I guess the person may well even approve of that. Onto the front porch again, we can see that the difference in the flint between the tower and the extensions. In fact, it looks as if there were 2 extensions to this church. And the variation in the style of the flint, colour of the joints, type of joints. We've got this little cross effect here, which has been used throughout the exterior. Now we've got little motifs set around the arch, using flint this time instead of stone, as we see on some of the churches. There's a light above it, and a nice little piece been built on top of the porch. Got an iron gate here, presumably to keep birds out. The porch is lovely tint to it. It's very delicate glass. And it's tinted yellow. Gives a yellow glow to the porch. Very wide, vast looking church because of the two extensions. Side windows are predominantly plain glass with a bit of a yellow tint to them, with a stained glass one over here in a sort of chapel area. Beautiful arrangement of flowers here. Candles over here. This is unusual. Got some very soft and inviting chairs to sit down in. It's a very homely little area. And a font that's been painted at some time. That's an unusual font. Don't see that very often. There's the bell tower with the pulls for the bells, and a war memorial. Church is very wide and tall, and the width means that it doesn't feel like a village church. It feels very much like a town church. It's got massive columns multi-flutes going up, big arches, windows above, 4 on each side. And unlike the village churches, it has 3 stained glass windows at the back instead of the one single Gothic type. Got banners here up on these columns, and down on the right a small area for children, a Sunday school. The pews have obviously been replaced in modern times. These look like something from the 20s, 30s, and modern chairs down the side. Where the original pews went, we don't know. The pulpit is on a solid base, a little door behind it. And this is quite a dark area here. We walk up to the altar. We've got 3 stained glass windows. And stained glass windows to the side now, they're exceptionally beautiful. The arches and the alcove look fairly new. I would guess that most of this has been restored at some point within the last 100 years. That's really attractive. The 2 windows there, and the 1 there. 3 there. Strangely, not 1 on this side, which adds to the fact that this is quite a dark area. Little door here. Memorials in this wall. I suspect this has been plastered when it was restored at some time, and these memorials have now become more built into the wall. This is all fairly new plaster. We've got modern chairs here. Nice area which I suspect some musical evenings or discussions, I don't know, take place. Whether these pipes actually work or they're for ornamentation now, I don't know. This all looks fairly modern. This organ looks like something from maybe the 40s or perhaps the 30s. This is not like most of the small Suffolk village churches we've been looking at. It's much bigger, and it's a vast space. Carpeted area here. We've got older tiles down the center, and the typical red and black tiles at the sides. Big stained glass window here, the biggest single one in the church. In loving memory, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Trafford Rawson of Coldham Hall. He died on the 25th day of February 1912, age 60. It does seem strange to see the modern pews, but also these modern chairs, though I suspect they're a lot more comfortable than the old pews that we see in most of the churches. And they've got heating at the side, so it's more pleasant, and carpet underneath. Large plain leaded window at the back lets a lot of light in here. As we walk out back down the gravel path, the sun has come out, and there's people walking around in the village. There's a pub just up the road from here. This is still quite a busy village, and I think this church is used quite extensively. You get a feeling that it's a real community church, which is nice to see. Lovely row of trees here. They're large mature trees that have been trimmed back over the years. There we have it. A very large, I think well-used church right in the middle of Suffolk.